Hello, and welcome back. This is our third session of the Outer Worlds. So at the end of last time, we just touched down on Monarch deciding to go the tougher route, landing in Cascadia and fighting our way over to Stellar Bay instead of spending the 10,000 bits on the nav key straight there. Which is a decision I may live to regret. But we managed to kill the two named Canid Goliaths, or no, they're not Canids, they were the raptor things. Those guys. There were two of them that were named, had Raptidons, that's what they were called. We managed to kill them without too much trouble. I did realise though that I probably want to go and tinker my weapons and armour a little bit. I mean, I didn't want to spend the 10,000 bits on the nav key there specifically because 10,000 bits is a lot of tinkering, and then I just did not spend that in tinkering.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
Alright, let's go listen in.
You don't think that's a problem? Whole ship's running on a computer's fancy. That'll make you nervous, Preacher?
No, Felix. The concept of a ship computer does not make me nervous. Are you scared of Ada?
I ain't scared of Ada.
Good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
It's just, she's a computer, Max. What happens when her equations tell her to cut off her oxygen? Or blast us all into space?
Felix, Ada is not sentient. She can't act out of a sense of malice. Where do you get these ideas?
I was watching True Stories of Mechanical Murderers last night.
One of these days, I'm going to make you read an actual book.
I mean, Ada does regularly threaten to either jettison us or cut off life support. I can kind of understand where Felix is coming from.
I could spend hours. So, tell me what...
Good to see you, boss.
Scanning for...
Sam, you're still doing great.
Something on your mind?
Ow. Oh, there you are.
I could probably spend years fixing the...
Nope. Nothing new to say there. One-handed melee, that's... Oh. Oh, Sam does have stats and such. I, for some reason, thought he didn't. he is intimidate, hack, and science. Persuade, sneak, and lockpick. Persuade, lockpick, engineering. Intimidate, hack, science. Lie, medical, engineering. Might actually... I'm somewhat tempted to take Sam. Anyway, for now, let's tinker some stuff up. Wow, that's getting expensive. Alright, that'll do for now. Oh wait, mods. Yeah, let's up the crit damage. Magazine size, and let's do the post arm. Let's just reduce its... Reducing spread. Will that reduce the effect of recoil? I mean, it doesn't have much of an effect. No, I don't think that'll do much. Does this thing have much armor penetration? Don't see. Sure, you know what, I'll give you armor penetration. Henry tossball blocker. Alright, that'll do for now. We've spent all of our money, but everyone should be doing a little more damage and taking a little less of it.
So what'd you think of the game last night? I still can't believe Armstrong ran the field from the Tuesday zone.
Yeah. Armstrong's really something. Nearly took a fella's head clean off with a tossball stick.
Yeah, well, he's a hacker. That's what they do. Rangers don't show a shred of mercy in a Darlings game. Bates got tossed out of the game for excessive sportsmanlike conduct in the third half. Serves him right.
Yeah. Felix, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what a Tuesday zone is. I don't know my tenders from my forwards. Thing is, I just don't understand tossball.
Hey, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'll teach you all there is to know.
Great. That's just swell. Can't wait. Got it. Inside voice. Here we go.
I mean, if you want to just stand there, that's absolutely fine by me.
Here they come.
Don't miss. For the best.
Alright, let's apply the level up quickly. What was I doing? So I got lockpick up to a base 100. So I've got pristine item chance. Wouldn't mind getting that to 60 for a chance to repair my items to pristine condition. Signs for the tinkering chance as well. Sorry, not tinkering chance, reducing tinkering cost by 90% would be pretty good. We've got a total of 80 engineering right now with our bonuses applied. Hack as well though, so you never know when a high hack check's gonna come up. You know what, I'll go for hack right now. Got a few buildings around here, got a bridge over there. Wondering what's gonna be up here. That looks like a place I'm gonna find something big. Project Terra. Okay, there was a bottling plant. Cascadia. Raptidons could dig beneath the walls or find their way into chemical waste pipes. And apparently that happened. Ooh, mantisaurs.
All right, here we go. That was fun.
Okay, so the mantisaurs and raptidons don't get along.
All right, let's dance.
Good job, Cap!
mantis swarm. Okay. So they were doing something on Terra 1 with the Terros. They shipped it all onto Terra 2. Okay, they run across the bridge. Try to cordon off this half a town. Okay.
I hope Edgewater don't end up like this.
Eyes up, boss. We're rambling into the jaws of danger.
Okay, so that's the path through that way over to Stellar Bay. Couple of Manta Queens. That's barred, so there's another way in. Where is the other way in? God damn it. it's one of those things I need the extra. Like something to augment my movement. It can jump over from the next building. Nope. Hmm. If I can get up on top of this somehow.
Hey, I remember Cascadia from that one episode of Terror on Monarch. Crawling with monsters it was.
I would have liked to seen this place before it was all boarded up. I bet it lit up the night.
No, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get into the constabulary. Well, I guess we're leaving it for now.
Still got it.
Wow, you got that? Great work.
There's a workbench in here at least. Oh, I didn't look at modding any of the armor. So on to add. Okay. sure I'm not missing anything in the outskirts of the pad.
Don't mess with us.
Nope, there wasn't much there. Okay. That's sealed. Oh. So I think to get to that end, we're gonna have to go up this way into Stellar Bay, round and back down. Then we can get into here. Unless there's another way to bypass the gate. We'll check from up here.
So here's the thing about tossball. Tossball is played from the heart.
Okay, I'm with you so far. Play from the heart. Easy.
There are other schools of thought. Some say you gotta use your head to play tossball. Those people have concussions.
Oh, gosh. That sounds, really dangerous.
Tossball's a celebration of danger. Take the hacker. The hacker's job is to trample right through the enemy's defense. Best hacker in the league's a fella by the name of Take It Easy Tatum. 59 injuries to his name in 3 non-consecutive seasons.
Why do they call him Take It Easy Tatum?
Oh, that's what the mediators used to shout out every time he'd go into a bloodthirsty frenzy.
Invisible walls. God damn it. There wasn't an invisible wall up there. I would have been able to get on top of the wall and hop over that way. Constable's office is still bothering me. Where was that again? Haven't looked at the customs building either. Oh no, that was the first building I checked. I just saw it from the other side, so I didn't recognize it. Yeah, that's gonna bother me. I just can't see any other way in there. So it's not sealed, it's just barred, which means there's an interactive bar on the other side of it that I can open if I could just get over there. Okay, this isn't going well. Oh fuck, they're still alive. Nope. Herpetophobia. No, I can't really take that much of a hit. Yeah, the phobias are pretty nasty flaws. Alright, well it looks like this path could get pretty nasty if we encounter a lot more mana queens.
Okay, going quiet. Here we go. Nice one.
Score one for Felix. Ready when you are, boss.
My headset is not sitting right. It's digging into the side of my head a little. It's very uncomfortable.
Take it down! That's one down! Nice hit! Boss, to your left!
Oh, hello. Nope. Damn it. I need a better shotgun. So I've had this one for quite a while now. It's getting a bit expensive to tinker to much of a higher level than it's currently at. I need like a tactical shotgun Mark II to drop or something. Oh god, how far back are we? Okay, it was after killing the mana queens, that's not too bad then. Does that mean it was before? or... No, it was after checking out these buildings. Okay. That's not so bad.
You sure we ought to go this way, Captain?
Yes, I'm very sure.
Boss, try another weapon.
Oh, hello. You got very close to me very quickly. Perfect, what are you doing?
Everyone all right?
Alright, didn't go so bad that time. Just had to start the fight from a little further away. Still not hit this big area yet. Gonna go have a look down. In tall grass in a moment as well. Yeah, so that's going up to the open area. Nothing much to note down here. So it looks on the map almost like there's a path. Oh, hello. Didn't see you there.
Here we go!
Got him, boss. That's the last of him.
Yeah, there's definitely no way for me to go over there though.
Hold on! Nobody messes with you, boss.
Barvari, are you set to like close range or something? No, you're unmixed. You just keep running in and dying. Oh, hello.
Everyone all right?
Sulfur pits. It's back that way. Ulbrick, Amber Heights, and Stellar Bay. Oh, hunting rifle ultra. That might be. It has much more DPS. The hunting rifle does more per shot. 204. Sure.
Great work.
Will hopefully be pretty good for like sneak attacks and such to start a fight.
I've been waiting for this! Don't let up! Get!
I'm just gonna slowly melt. I'm assuming this is gonna hurt, in case it instantly kills me. Oh, Oh, that hurts a lot. Can only stand in one of those for a few seconds.
Alright, let's dance! Nobody messes with you, boss!
Oh, another mega. I wonder.
Why's everything on this moon gotta be so big, angry?
That's a good point, Burvani. Everything is very big and angry. It's unnecessary.
Keep him quiet.
Mega Mantiqueen, oh wonderful.
Let's take him down!
Got him!
Excuse me, it just got all its health back. And the fact that they're constantly shitting out homing bombs. Is a little
Not a peep from me.
awkward to deal with. Gonna take out that little guy separately, and whoever he's tied to. These pillars are tied to the Mega Mantiqueen. I know there's one behind this rock somewhere that is not. Okay, let's look around the rest of the sulfur bits first anyway. Okay, I've got to try this. No, you know what, I don't think I can. I was thinking I could pull the Raptidons over, maybe they'll fight each other, but my companions would just get mauled immediately and then I would, yeah, I don't think that would go very well at all.
All together.
Got him, boss! Somebody help work on me! Ah! That's the last of him.
Well, we're certainly getting plenty of experience from going this route. I was about to say it's costing us a lot of ammo too, but it's really not. Am I over encumbered? God damn it. That's actually going to be an issue. So I'm going to have to be able to sprint away from Mega Mana Queen. Oh god. Yeah, that just went really bad really fast. Damn it. Wasn't fast enough.
Alright, here we go!
Got him. Everybody okay? Great.
Alright, I'll try again at taking it.
Looks like we're doing
Oh,
this.
hello. I didn't even see you there.
Got him, boss!
I'll try again at taking it that group over there. And And then, before going and attacking the Mega Mantiqueen again, we're gonna have to just slowly walk back to the vending machine back there. Oh, hello.
Ah, that's the last of him.
There's a lot of very nasty wildlife in this place. Very terrifying.
That's the last of him.
Alright, we just got one more little group of Raptidons. And we'll go back, offload our inventory, and try and take out the Mega Mantiqueen. Oh, there's a regular one over there as well. Where the hell's the Mega? Might be in the other side of that rock. That's not a regular Raptidon.
Rad, let's dance. Oh, get it off! Get it off!
Nice hit! You took one down!
Everyone all right?
Okay, wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. Hero's Last Stand. Alright, let's try and take out this regular Mana Queen as well, just while we're here.
I've been waiting for this! Get past that armor!
You little shit, stop spitting at me. Okay, got another level out of it. Right, let's make the very slow trek back to the nearest vending machine. Which was... oh god, it's so far. But once we're there, we can offload our inventory, then it's straight through to the Mega Manta Queen. almost there.
Ready when you are, boss.
Shut up, Felix. Why don't you carry some of this? You can clearly still run. Alright, so which... just on the left here. Wait, is there one? I think there's one in the constable office that I can't access. Right, you know what? Fuck it. Let's see if there's just something I need. Okay, I googled Cascadia Constable Office and nothing came up, so I have no goddamn idea. So the next one is over here. I haven't gone past that way. No. Wasn't right here. The hell is it? Map says it's just to my right. Oh, is there one up? No, that's the landing pad computer. I think that's taking me to. No, it can't be. Oh! I forgot these work.
Here's the other thing about Tossball. Tossball is all about scoring goals.
Scoring goals, got it. And you can score a goal by kicking the ball, throwing the ball, or
Or running it into the Saturday goal, if you're a visitor. Or the Sunday goal, if you're on the home team.
okay, so if you're on the home team, you want to run the ball into the Sunday goal? Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
You can also kick it, that's called a foot goal. Or throw it, that's called a hand goal. Running's worth more points, but it's got some risks. You could get cleaved, hacked, winged, bronzed. You could tumble the ball in the Wednesday zone, also known as getting humped.
Felix, are we still talking about toss ball, or?
Well, yeah. What'd you think we were talking about?
Well, that doesn't seem needlessly complicated at all. Okay. sell off a whole lot of shit. Cost of Braves. Well, I'll keep the police gear. Provide you're the one that keeps her running in and dying instantly, so you can have the bearer helmet. And I can disguise myself as a police officer, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, what's my weight into? Okay, that's much better. So now we've got a Mega Mantiqueen to take on. Oh, I've got level up. Okay, well, let's get Lion Intimidate up. So with the bonuses, I've got 50. Okay, that'll do for now. And we've got another perk. Let's get some tactical time dilation restored every kill, and then next park we can go into the tier 3s. Where's the... Oops. Where's the Mega Mantiqueen? Okay. It's gone. I didn't have to walk all the way back then in that case. That's annoying.
Great work. Nicely done.
Yeah, rather than walking all the way back, I could walk forward like 3 seconds and I would have been fine.
Easy now.
God damn it. It was melting faster than I could heal.
washing up. Hey, now! Nobody messes with you, boss! No good, boss! Try another weapon!
Oh no! Felix!
Alright, well, it went much better that time. MSI Soldier. Oh, there's a Mega Mantiqueen. Alright, let's take out the wee annoying guys. This wee fucker has to go. Like 4 damage a hit. Jesus Christ.
Not a peep from me. Here we go.
Somebody help Bart, are you? Ah!
what if I run away out of combat? Can I run out of combat? Yes. Now the little guys are gone. Let Felix and Purvi get their health back, and then it's just the three of us versus the Mega Manta Queen. Hopefully with their help, we'll actually be able to take its health down a little.
Alright, here we go! Shocking, it was too much! Rocket won't work. I don't think you get through.
Oh, that didn't go particularly well either. I'm just on fire always. Come on, almost gone. There we go. It only took 20 minutes. That was a bit rough. And then to the right, we've got a couple buildings. Blueprint there. On the left, we're gonna have a couple more buildings. Thing in this alcove. Plasma rifle 2.0. Is my armor almost broken? Conditions. Oh god, yeah, everything's about to break. There we go. Maybe that's why I was doing very little damage. What the fuck? We've got people. Never thought I'd see people again. Oh, it feels so good to be able to kill things.
Love a good brawl. Let 'em have it.
The last of them.
Where's the body of the mech I killed? Hold on. Down there, wasn't it? Oh, it's gone forever.
Waiting for this.
Marauder River Camp.
Got it. Heads down.
Why doesn't a name pop up over your head? I'll deal with you in a moment. Oh, it does. Senis.
Looks like...
Oh, hi. Oh shit. I didn't realize my health was that low.
Got it. Inside voices. That's the last of them.
Yeah, no. There is no way I can jump across there. Okay, goes around the other side there. armor ignored by stealth attacks. Interesting. Son of Shotgun Mark II. I wonder if that works out better than. Tactical still works out slightly better overall. Thought if I modded that for like shock or something. Don't know yet. I'm undecided about that. Alright, well let's go see this named Marauder. I wonder if I can talk to him. Hello. Nope, I cannot talk to you.
Nobody messes with you, boss!
Everyone all right?
I wonder if I'm gonna get a quest later to come kill him. Hey, there's this marauder that's been just terrorizing the entire place. Like, no one can live their lives in peace. Well, yeah. Killed him in the way here. Since we're sort of into marauder territory, hopefully means I won't have to deal with any more Manta Queens and Raptidons and, well, I have to deal with more Manta Queens.
Here we go!
Oh, hello. Terra 1 Publications. It's actually a separate instance. Interesting. go in there, but I'll have a look around the rest of this place first. Just a handful of buildings.
Score one for Felix.
Or MSI soldiers. I still don't know what MSI is. Alright, let's have a look at the publications building. Terra 1 publications. That's it. That's still pretty early. I'm far too hungry for what time is. I think I'll treat myself and order food today. In another hour or two.
All right, hushing up.
Grenade launcher 2s. Oh, that was 8,000 shit. I shouldn't have bought that. I didn't look at the price. Oh, I'm glad I didn't sell the police armor. I just noticed they are unique items. Just the icons covering up most of the little icon behind them to show that it's unique. That's unique as well. Oh, Marauder Survivalist. Nothing's Oh wow. Condition of that's already down to 43%. Final notice. Okay, so conditions here are bad.
Can't keep us out.
Yep, and of course the corporations just don't give a shit about the conditions here, because that's capital.
Way to go, Cap!
Oh god, it's in. Okay. Chronofield aggregator. Guess that's gonna be a quest item for later then. are. Don't pet the kittens. By the board deciding to move to Terra 2. Okay. So they designated Terra 1 as illegal to work on, after forcing people to work on it for a very long time. Faulty rollers.
Don't mess with us. Wow, you got that?
Well, with everything taking many more shots to kill, I need to dismantle some weapons, because keeping everything repaired is becoming a little expensive. Okay. Here we go. I didn't see this door when I was coming in, so I wonder where this is about to take me out to. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I just didn't recognize that as a door, I guess.
For this.
Nice one!
We're the best there ever was.
I'm about ready to never see another Raptidon or Mantisaur again.
Let's take him down.
Nice hit! Let me go!
Oh. There are quite a few more coming.
Everyone all right?
There we go. another set of buildings across the way there. Then there's Stellar Bay.
Everyone all right? Let's go! Don't mess with us.
Yeah, that's great policy. Guessing this is tied to a quest later. I probably shouldn't hit that button yet. I won't touch it just now. But now I know it's there for later. This is the first building we came in.
these real ruins? It's just like in the serials.
I wonder who used to live here. Do you suppose anyone remembers anymore? Here we go!
Well, we've got a way into Stellar Bay now. Do you want to go... You know what, a quest's gonna take me down this way sooner or later. So I'll check out all those buildings whenever we get another quest that'll take us out along this way. For now, we'll get into Stellar Bay.
Whew. Smells like those old Sundays when we'd unload salt tuna shipments at the cannery.
We gotta go exploring. I want to see some savages.
We've been exploring. Alright, let's see what's in here. I'm glad I didn't spend 10,000 bits to get straight to Stellar Bay. At least going this way, we not only saved all of that money, but we've got half of Monarch explored. Not half, but like, I don't know, about a third of the Monarch Wilderness explored. Okay, level up. Let's work on getting our hack to 100, then we'll go into science and engineering.
us out.
We're not the best equipped, but scouting for rafts keeps us on our toes. Fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay could use some.
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
Help! Someone's been killed! I think I'm gonna be sick. No! I just stepped in a dead man's blood. And I think one of the flies landed on my mouth. If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
Oh, sorry. Just spooked me, was all.
Really?
Murder?
We knew it was here.
Hey, is this the part where we go hunting for clues?
I mean, we will hunt for clues, but that's after I rob him blind. Tossball being slip. Several outfits of the same cut and color. Investigate left field tossball betting. A week in one of the upstairs apartments.
Whatever you do, don't mention Tossball to Isaac. You'll never hear the end of it.
You know, I haven't seen him in a while.
If you'd gotten stuck in an hour-long rant about mostly colonists, you'd be thankful. Hey.
startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh? You again! You've really got to stop doing that! You again!
Okay, well they have a name and they have conversation things, so they're probably gonna be tied to a quest later. Okay, South Roads. It's a care package with the Mathers.
You again!
That's where I came in.
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Got any news? We don't get many outside. Watch your...
What? We don't get many outsiders.
Good day to you. Good day to you.
You have a name. Hello, Chef.
Whoa, by the stars, my poor heart. I just about pissed my jumpsuit. Most people don't.
We're used to folks swooning at our feet. You don't gotta be embarrassed.
A healthy survival reflex is nothing to be embarrassed about. Besides, this place is enough to try anyone's nerves. Where should I begin? With the oversized mantisaurs? Or perhaps the rats spewing acid at our walls? The board was right. This place isn't fit for human habitation, and I was a fool for staying. Sanjar, of course. He had all these glorious ideas about how he'd run Monarch. Rest periods between every work shift. No shift more than 10 hours long. It all sounds wonderful, until you realize there's only a few centimeters of repurposed steel between you and the deadliest creatures in the galaxy. I could do with a few kilometers of cold vacuum, but that spaceship is flown. Only every day. But in case you haven't noticed, we don't exactly get ships on a regular basis, yours notwithstanding. And even if I did scrape together enough to buy passage out with sublight, which would mean reaching Fallbrook without getting eaten, shot, or dissolved into green goop, what then? Nothing, that's what. Because MSI is not in what you'd call good standing with the board. So even if I could get out of here, no one's gonna hire me. Even talking about it has my blood pressure up. I've really gotta stop. That was a real popular meal 10, 20 years back, before the board tucked tail and ran. These days, everybody's had a belly full of salt tuna. They all want borscht. And the mushrooms, well, not many venture out of town, what with the monsters hereabouts. I can whip one up for you, but it'll cost. Here's a menu.
Oh, yikes. I can't cover this much, Captain.
You better love me for this, Parfait.
You got it. I got all the ingredients. Should only take about an hour in the oven. There we are. Now, if you don't mind, I really need to take a leak.
My belly's gurgling just to smell it, Mr. Raymond. Thank you so much.
A pleasure to help such a charming young lady.
Oh, gosh. My tum's rumbling just smelling that casserole.
Can I steal back my bits? No.
You! Stop that! What do you think you're doing?
Nothing.
I suppose I can look away this time.
Okay, so came in that door. See that.
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook. But you don't look like one of Catherine's. What can I get you? All sales are final, unless you threaten me. I'm kidding. Don't threaten me.
I'm gonna threaten you.
don't get many. Watch your step if you venture outside the walls.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir. Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings, whatever Sebastian has in stock, really. So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff, and some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask, just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises. You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny. Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up. Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself? Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for salt tuna. Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious. Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Can't imagine why you'd sneer at the notion of a free colony. Could it be because you're an agent of the establishment?
I used to be young and idealistic too, but you can't run a city on high-minded ideals.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
you out of your mind? You can't just go crawling back to your old masters.
Well, we can't continue to subsist like this either.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
And a Mantisaur problem, and a Marauder problem.
Many, many problems, but they can all be solved with a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
I was starting to get bored listening to you, till you said the phrase, extremely powerful ordnance.
It is quite the rush. An ordinance, of course. We do things in a civilized fashion here, not like Graham's iconoclasts.
There's nothing the board likes so much as paperwork.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you just crawled out from under a rock. Forms and procedures are everything in Halcyon. And this one is located in the old Arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Saying what which way? That's just what it's called. It's supposed to stand for something, but I forget what. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the Arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. What can I do for you? You weren't supposed to look. I asked you to delete it. Yes, but then you would have known. This has been my albatross. The great shame of my career. I give MSI everything. My work, my youth, my left kidney, and for years, I was a joke to them. One of the executives required a transplant. I thought volunteering to donate might improve my prospects. Apparently not. In charge of a scrap heap of a city. Abandoned by the board and surviving only through the hypocrisy of our trading partners. I hadn't thought of it that way. But perhaps there's something to that. Thank you for that. Was there something else? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws. Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1. As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to, but there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Word of advice, Sanjar. If Parvati's got something to say, you do well to listen close.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2, along with everyone else. In a manner of speaking, many of us stayed behind, in an act of quiet but firm defiance. As the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws.
Your first mistake was expecting the board to cut you a fair deal.
I understand the sentiment, but if we can't rely on some sort of framework, then what do we have? I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, and once you go back to him, they'll own your dignity too.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship. I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. And I don't mean to leave MSI or its people at a disadvantage. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
Sounds like the board gave themselves the power to arrest an entire planet.
They would say it's for the greater good. Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way. He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them. It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels and pushes us further from the rest of the colony.
So, what's the downside?
Shall I begin with the supply shortages or the subtle but constant threat of annihilation? He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
What can I do for you?
Okay. No way I can grab this, right? Nope.
Alright, don't let me catch you here again.
Yeah, I mean he's not. He's still got that touch of corporate in him, but he's like on the right track.
MSI keeps the fishery running, and the walls intact.
Yeah, definitely on the right track.
MSI? Keeps the fishery running and the walls intact.
Yeah, I'm okay with helping this guy out.
Look, I don't... Sorry. For a second, I thought you were dead.
Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right? You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna and halcyon. Please state your name for the records. Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill. We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago. Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly.
Did he just say raptidons and cannibals? I can't wait.
Oh, sure. It makes Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell. Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor? I got this Rizzo's Rangers tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in?
Boss, come on. Black Hole Birdie, the Holmeister, the Hack Attack.
That's Bertie Holcomb, only one of the greatest tossball hackers ever. Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something? Oh, you're real funny. Guess I don't feel so bad for missing what goes on in the rest of Stellar Bay. I couldn't really say, I'm just a fan of the game. But the fancy collector types say the more people see these things, the less valuable they are. And I figure my poster's been passed around by more than a few people by now. Thanks a bunch! Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
So if you're there, I guess...
Hold on there. I gotta sign you in.
Yeah, this is where I would have come in immediately. If I'd bought the nav key here. Alright. Well, we've reached Stellar Bay. We've got our ship here. It's the hard part done.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding. All over the place, trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. Don't interrupt, it's rude. But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn rapt out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you? Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you? Outstanding! What are you doing in Stellar Bay, stranger? Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You'll have to get me something to clear my head. Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set. Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Watch your step if you've got any news from the rest of the house.
Well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger. Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you? Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka. On account of her being here so often herself. And I don't mean that unkindly. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you? Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the Iconoclasts or some such. Bunch of marauders broke into the executive compound, slaughtered everyone. Corporations pulled out of Monarch not long after. I thought everyone knew. But then that was 10 years ago. Still feels fresh to us every time we look at our walls, though. Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all. Nope. But a man can dream.
We don't get many outsiders.
Watch your step if you venture outside the walls.
adventure outside the walls.
New face, huh?
Hello.
You from Offworld? A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us?
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. So now we're striking. It ain't any one thing but the sum of it all, having to work longer shifts for less bits. And the wages we do earn don't cover as much as they used to. Our supervisor, Velma, goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch, we're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay. I wouldn't doubt it. You look like the type who tends to come out on top. Not like us cogs, trying to be the squeaky wheel but just getting deadlocked. It's been days, but Velma won't even hear us out. Maybe you could just make her listen to our demands. You would do that? We sure are lucky you decided to come up to the patio today. I knew drinking up here would be good for more than the view. Sure thing. What did you want to discuss? Not forever, but we've each saved up our bits, and I stashed them safe in my home by the diner. I reckon we could last a week or two at least.
I might have already robbed you. I'm not sure.
If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better. The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true. I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far, it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse, I reckon.
Okay.
It'll be good to get some steady pay again.
Thanks for the help. Nice break from the warehouse.
Sure, on my way.
What do you think you're doing? Do what
Nothing.
you want, I guess.
In a jiff.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a Wonderful Directorate.
Alright, well, we've picked up a few things we've got to do.
Wouldn't mind smelling like salt tuna if we could sell more of it.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry.
I mean, I'll give it a shot, sure.
Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing. Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. I can't keep working double shifts either. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra drugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind? Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts. We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get the Saltuna, fat and mostly tumor-free. Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a ground six spacer. Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say. Tell him to complain to Catherine in Fallbrook, not me. Sublight's demanding more money for the same contracts, which means we're all in the same boat. I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it.
Ooh.
I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate.
Go persuade 100.
You know, I hadn't thought of it that way. Last thing I need is Catherine mailing even farther up my ass than she already is. Fine. Tell Caleb he and his team can have their raise, but I need them back here immediately.
Nice. I'm glad I got that to 100.
Velma's not so bad, as long as you avoid her when she's stressed. What do you think you're doing?
Nothing.
Just keep your finger to your own self, okay?
Look, I don't... If you want to talk...
Wouldn't mind smelling like...
You're probably looking for Velma. Watch out. She's in a mood.
You're probably looking for Velma. Watch out. She's in a mood.
Nicely done.
Oh, I just stumbled across the answer to that other quest. Mash random keys.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome.
Gosh, this old girl's in a rough way. Even old Bess in Edgewater was in better shape than this.
Hey, you want to try running a cannery with obsolete machinery? You be my guest.
Sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just, your flanging apparatus isn't making a strong flange, so your sealer isn't sealing right, and...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Huh. I'll have to try that. Anyway, what do you...
Look, I don't... For a second, I thought you were Grim.
Ooh. We got some intrigue going on. Just a corpse in the dock. A hatch into the south ruins. I'll need to remember that's in there.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
No, I mean...
Where are we?
More than you.
Okay.
Good enough. I made it a point to stay out of her way.
We don't get many outside.
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial H Mammoths. Aren't they just? When I get to worrying about the marauders outside, the raptidons chewing at the walls, I just turn my transceiver up to drown it all out. Most of the time it's static on account of the frequency being clogged up, but sometimes it's tossball.
You get to listen to games all day? Stellar Bay really is a paradise.
It's pretty swell, but it's a whole lot better with company. Say, I don't think I've seen you before, and I'd remember that face.
I'll try not to be a stranger then. Name's Felix, by the way.
You should stop by more often. The games are always better when you've got someone to celebrate with.
Sounds like a good time. I wouldn't mind bringing a couple drinks and settling in for the pennant match.
Look at me, getting carried away again. So, what can I do for you? Graham's always filling the airwaves with this propaganda, like it's done him any good. All it means is the tossball games get to us in fragments. Makes them real hard to watch. Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth. Right, so the thing with Isaac is he didn't know where to stop. He'd get stuck on something, and he just couldn't let it go. Sometimes he'd drink purpleberry punch by the liter, other times he'd keep betting on a losing team. Started owing the wrong people money. I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them. Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Okay. Yeah, we're picking up a lot of
Watch your
quests.
step if you venture outside the walls.
Ow.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember. What can Auntie Abigail do for you? And what a helpful young man you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits. Who's your lucky friend, dearie? Aren't you a saucy thing? I may not be a fresh young thing anymore, but with age comes experience, dearie.
I'm absolutely gonna flirt with the old lady.
Much as I'd love to, my rheumatism is especially fierce at the moment, and I'm all out of my medicine. But I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. You were here for caffeinoid, weren't you? Who's it for?
This could go badly, but I'll be honest.
Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I don't like to pry. Well, I'm afraid not. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them. Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face for the customers. And to keep an extra key to the supply room, for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his. Careless experimentation with medicinal substances does take its toll, eventually. In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of enlightenment. On the way, he tried some rather daring substance combinations. It's a philosophist symbol of some kind, dearie. Never you mind. The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to attract beasties.
You're gonna go tussle with some raptidons? Because I've been practicing my dropkick.
Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie. Chin up, dearie.
Yoink. Liver damage, likely the result of prolonged alcoholism. Attitude problems, likely the result of prolonged alcoholism. Frequent social withdrawal, likely the result of prolonged alcoholism. Oh, well, here we go. Is that solved? Oh, this is a book. He's an aspiring writer. Oh, he writes a very particular type of book.
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance. We don't...
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Is my controller battery again? No, apparently not. It keeps going unresponsive for a second.
Wrapped musk and canid eyes, right here. Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in Raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails? You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts? I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for Halcyon life. As my dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially.
I mean, I killed like 6 of them on the way here.
Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them. Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him? I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble and we didn't do nothing.
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal? All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mana Queen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there, too. Oh, good. Celia hasn't come by in a few days, so I haven't sold much. You look like a man who's looking for some... Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff. Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
Oh, no, that's not it at all. She's smitten with you. You smited her. Smote? Smoot?
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for Raptidon tongues. You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice.
Give her a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take her someplace nice.
Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
That's the spirit, Sebastian. Be yourself. Between you and me, Captain, I'm not sure Miss Celia knows him too well. But we can hope, right? I want them to be happy.
At least we are just solving everyone's problems from parole.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say? You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago. Oh, have you talked to him? Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date with Celia. I've secretly been waiting for this. Or was it more, sure, I don't have anything else going on. Not to worry. If I never buy another Raptidon tongue, it'll be too soon. Ah, look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Nandi's giving me that back-to-work look. Anyhow, thank you.
A fine day for business, isn't it? Anyway, what can I do for you?
Oh hell yeah, Grim was great. Give him all the raises.
I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
Yeah. I like Grim. So, I've already got the poster. It was in,
Smells like raft in here.
the upstairs part of the warehouse, but I'll go talk to the lady first. Anyway, see if she had anything to say about it, if I hadn't just immediately stolen it. Oh yeah, I was supposed to go here for something too.
So, guess...
Is it you?
You again! You've really got to stop doing that! Jumpy? Who's Jumpy? I'm not Jumpy! Braxton. I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry. Oh, in that case, he told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
Poor fella. Hope he's okay. We should hurry, Captain.
Okay, where the hell was the warehouse? I've probably run past it like 4 times. They did run right past it.
Hey, Velma, I got your caffeinoid pills.
You're a lifesaver. Hope Abigail didn't give you a hard time.
Just the usual. Any word on Braxton?
Nothing. Don't know how much longer I can cover for him either. Give me those pills, will you?
Here you go. You know, you might consider a real night's sleep instead. Velma's not so bad, long as you avoid her when she's stressed.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Well, I can't say anything about the, poster anyway.
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? I keep wondering if it's come in. Sorry, I just get so excited, and I always feel like I miss everything that happens in town while I'm up here. Would you look at that? The Rizzo's logo is nice and bright, and you can still smell the ink on Mr. Holcomb's signature. I can't thank you enough. Still, you can have the bits I was going to spend at the bar this week. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker, too. Never get the chance to use it these days.
Hey.
You think maybe you could get some of your friends to land here too? Gets real quiet.
Alright. A little closer to maxing out hack. And we can look at the tier 3 perks. There's a couple of good ones here, but I think immediately I need the extra carrying capacity, because that's just constantly filling up. Okay, what else do we have? We need to go up onto here. I'm not going to give you the pills yet, because I want to do the optional thing for going and checking the body.
Why don't you grab a chair? Got an update for us? We can't afford to sit this out for too much longer. Know what I mean? How'd you manage that? Wait, never mind. If I question it, it'll turn out not to be true. Besides, I never follow how you got Velma to part ways with the bit card of her own accord. As agreed, here's your compensation. Ain't a lot, but I hope it shows how much we appreciate all you've done. Now me and my friends here better get back to work before Velma blows a fuse.
What's my reputation up to? It's already at 28%, that's not bad.
I wonder sometimes what they're doing on other colonies.
Uh-huh.
Think they're watching the same serials, following the same tossball games?
Sir, please, I need your help. I can pay. Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak. Oh, I just knew you were a good person. Agnes, I said, this is the man to save your little Tucky. And I was right. He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous plants, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
Please, won't you go and find my boy?
It's not a human child, is it? It's gonna be a fucking, Raptidon Colossus or something.
He's been pining for an adventure. Says he's tired of living cooped up behind the walls. But he doesn't understand how dangerous it is out there. I warned him. A raptidon would snap him up first chance it got. I just know one's ripped his arm off and is gnawing on his sweet little fingers. He should have listened to his mama. I promised I'd keep him safe here with me. He's been listening to those awful broadcasts that the iconoclasts put out. I begged Sanjar to put a stop to them, but did he? No! And now I just know my boy's run off to Amber Heights. That is, if a manta queen hasn't spooled out and eaten his entrails for breakfast already. Those low-life degenerates, leading innocent boys into a life of danger. Oh, they make it sound so exciting. Like it's noble to risk it all out there, fighting for the greater good.
Not sure I'm seeing the problem here.
You're one of them, aren't you? You should be ashamed of yourself, young man. Just as your mama would be. How noble is it to worry your loved ones? Not at all, I say. But still they preach their sermons of anarchy and rebellion to anyone who'll listen. If they weren't holed up in Amber Heights, I'd knock them all upside the head. That old settlement, southwest of Stellar Bay. I don't know which is worse, the thought of my son shacking up with them nutty iconoclasts. Or that he never made it. Sprats could be nesting in his rotting body alongside the road as we speak. Or maybe marauders got him, pulled all his teeth out, crushed him into their drugs and made him snort them. Oh, the things that could happen to my sweet baby. Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
I can't quite get a... Maybe?
Hold it right there.
Nope.
What do you think you're... Just don't make more paperwork for me, all right?
We're not used to outside help around here.
Who the fuck are you? This ain't your alley. As you were.
Beat it. Beat it.
Hey, you!
Hey, you! I saw... What do you think you're doing?
Just don't let me
There
catch
we go.
that.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley. Berta already pissed by those crates to market. Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business. How? That was supposed to go out with the next batch of salt tuna. What are you suggesting, pal? Wow. Most of the pencil pushers around here cave as soon as you look at them funny. Fine, we're going. This ain't worth it.
What was your family like, Felix? Did you ever know him?
I never knew him. I was a stowaway. That's what they call orphans who grow up in the back bays.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. That must have been lonesome.
Come on, Parvati, who you talking to? Imagine me pining after my family. Yeah, I suppose that was a touch lonesome. But hey, look at me now. I made it. I got a ship and everything.
You should know you're getting excellent reviews from across the company. What can I do for you? But that's terrible. What happened? I'm glad to hear you've dealt with them. They've been causing quite a bit of trouble around town. I've been consumed with other matters of late, but I would have dealt with them. Eventually. Of course I would have. Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please consider this payment for your services.
Love how I've been here for all of like 5 minutes and I've solved like half of the town's problems.
I hear those
already.
rich people in Byzantium pay a handsome bit for Rap Musk.
Bet they also pay to make it stink less.
Alright, so we're gonna take this door out of Stellar Bay just so I can see where it goes. We'll hop over the bridge to the North Ruins, grab the stuff, delete the files for Sanjar, and then we can head down into the South Ruins and shed those out. But I'm actually going to take a break for a little bit. Because my headset this entire time has been digging into the side of my head and it's getting a little bit painful. It's just not sitting right. And I'm also gonna order food, eat food. Yeah. So I'm going to end the stream for a little bit. I may be back on after an hour or two. I'll see what time it ends up being. Wow, our helmet does not match our torso. I'll see what time it ends up being by the time I finished eating and everything. But if it's still reasonably early, I'll jump back on for a few more hours. If not, then I'll likely be back tomorrow. But for right now, thank you very much for stopping by, hanging out. I'll be back either later tonight or tomorrow.